did some people not deserve some win? I think a lot of people are also questioning how Monica, got. But then it is what it
But
is.
for this guy, I wasn't surprised. Franklin.
Bucci.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yes,
wasn't surprised.
because of To Kill a Monkey.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I had to go and watch the movie again.
Well, some people, their wins, were deserving, while some, again, you would question, some of their. I think some people also questioned how we've talked about Baba Betta, producer.
Were you not listening?
We talked about him. We talked about him, and I'm wondering why you are shouting Baba Betta. You want to burn it better.
Even though, I have my reservations about that Lishabi film.
I know.
I don't know.
Just like, a lot of people also had reservations how, behind the scenes didn't also clinch any awards. So, again, they know what they're looking for. They know what they're looking out for, but it just looks like sometimes paddy we always.
And I love what Bovi and the lady from South Africa did about what happened between Funke and what's her name?
Tony. It was a comic relief. Anyways, let's get onto the show this morning by taking our news points. Let's start with politics. Jibla, let's go.
Yes, I'm not surprised with this headline. I saw it coming. State capital spending plunges 58% as 2027 politics intensifies. The capital expenditure by 26 states government plunged by 2.19 trillion within 3 months in the first quarter of 2026, raising concerns over slowing infrastructure development and worsening fiscal pressures as politics for next year's elections intensifies. An analysis of quarter-on-quarter financial reports published on official website of the state showed that total capital expenditure fell by 2.2 trillion, representing a 58.1% decline from 3.79 trillion recorded in the fourth quarter of 2025 to 1.59 trillion in the first quarter of 2026. Similarly, a breakdown of state government expenditure between January and June 2025 showed that 31 states collectively spends 2.75 trillion, averaging 1.38 trillion on capital projects during the 6-month period. The sharp contraction comes amid growing political activities and early alignment ahead of 2027 general elections. A period analysts say could increasingly shift government attention from long-term infrastructure investment to political calculations and recurring spending. The data were obtained by our correspondents in Abuja on Sunday from quarterly budget implementation and financial performance reports uploaded on the official website of the state. The figures gathered and analyzed by our correspondent, that's the correspondent of Punch, not LTV, indicate a decline of 2.19 trillion, representing 59.79% drop within 3 months, highlighting a slowdown in the infrastructure and development spending across many states. The findings are against the backdrop of Punch report that the external debt of 32 states and the Federal Capital Territory climbed to nearly $5.7 billion in fresh loans in 2025, pushing subnational foreign debt sharply higher year on year despite increased inflows from Federation accounts. The data showed that one state, Oyo State, recorded a significant increase in capital expenditure during the period under review, while most states posted sharp decline in spending on capital expenditure. Let me just end it there. So here we have it, 58% as 2027 politics intensifies. Most governors are not spending on capital projects again. Rather, they are using the state resources to fund politics as we prepare for another round of elections in the country. And one state that stood out, according to this report, is Oyo State, why the state government is rather spending more on capital projects as against what other governors are doing, spending more on politics to protect their interest and investment in 2027.
Politics is capital expenditure. I mean, it is a project. And
for them.
Yes, now.
Not for the people.
It's a project for them, and the people are also part of the project. So the people also get part of what should be spent on the larger society. So those who also attend political meetings and all of that. But I know that, you know, with things like this, I think more governors should be put on their toes, especially if there has been a budget for the year. You should ensure that you spend what the state assemblies approved or what the state assemblies, you know, agreed that be spent on expenditure, either capital or recurrent, on those things that you had envisaged at the beginning of the year that you will spend those monies on. And I think until we get to that point where state governors, maybe through the state assemblies, are also now being probed or being questioned as to how the budget of the previous year was spent, and expeditiously as well, did you spend the money on the you know, on the sectors that you had promised to spend? Because if there are no checks and balances, we'll continue to go back and forth, and it means that there's nobody checking, and so all these monies can be used or can be diverted for other reasons. So I do think that the state assemblies should be more up and doing, and should also now begin to question the executive when they come for budget presentation. There needs to be better explanations to how previous budgets were you know, were spent, so that it will also give a better understanding of the budgets that you're to approve for the next year. I think so.
If indeed we want to impact the people and, of course, give them more dividends of democracy, what Abimbola suggested is the way for state assemblies to go. But unfortunately, most speakers, most state assemblies, they are lapdogs of the executive. And if you are not following or agreeing to what the executive arm of government is doing, then you'll be removed as the speaker or majority leader of the state house of assembly that is not cooperating with the
these things can be done without necessarily fighting over it. I mean, that's why there are checks and balances.
Some governors will feel that, who are you to question my spending?
Well, we will get there.
There are assemblies and there are assemblies.
I know. Okay, let's take the second story this morning. This one, JAMB stakeholders to decide 2026 admission cut-off mark Monday, which is today. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, will today hold its 2026 policy meeting, where critical guidelines for admissions into tertiary institutions across Nigeria are expected to be adopted, including the determination of the minimum admissible scores for candidates. Public Communication Advisor Dr. Fabian Benjamin confirmed the development in a statement on Sunday in Abuja. He revealed that the meeting would be chaired by the Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, noting that this has attracted international attention as Sierra Leone has moved to understudy Nigeria's centralized admission system with a view to replicating the JAMB model in its country. According to him, the annual policy meeting remained one of the most significant events in Nigeria's education calendar, as stakeholders in the tertiary education sector converged to deliberate on admission procedures for universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. It reveals that this year's meeting would also feature the participation of Sierra Leone's Deputy Minister of Education, Mr. Sarjas Aziz Kamara, alongside the Vice-Chancellor of Ernest Bai Koroma University of Science and Technology, and Professor Edwin Momo, the Vice-Chancellor of Njala University, as well as Professor Bashiru Koroma. Benjamin explains that the delegation had already been taken through the board's examination and admission processes at JAMB headquarters in Buari, Abuja, ahead of today's policy meeting. According to him, I think that's the thrust of the story, really. We do know that the policy meeting of JAMB yearly is to decide on the cutoff marks for universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Last year's cutoff was reduced drastically. We don't know what this year will be, depending on how students, performed in their examination. But I think there's a need to also uphold standards. As much as there is a decline in how our students are doing, there's still a whole lot of students who are also still doing well. So we would not say that, because it has to be balanced. And so we would, I don't know. It calls for attention, because I think last year it was reduced about 150. Yeah. So we don't know what. 400. Yeah. So we don't know what it will be this year. But we do hope that at least if we cannot sustain 150, we shouldn't go lower.
Lower than 150.
Else, we're just going to make a whole mess of the whole thing, especially this time around that we have visitors coming to understudy what we do. Are they going to understudy relegation? They have to understudy performance, high standards, and, you know, the spirit of excellence. So let us do well and just, you know, just maintain
the standard.
You know, the standards. And I don't think we should go lower than where we were last year.
That's totally correct. I really do not know the how the students perform in this year's JAMB examination, but I've seen a couple of results, and I had someone scored 318, 288, 262.
I think it was a better result this year.
I think it was better than last year, but by and large, Abimbola did suggest something very, very important. The need for us to continue to standardize our education and, of course, ensure that those that actually get into colleges of education, polytechnics or universities actually deserve to be there.
Merit.
And let us not apply sentiment simply because of mass failure of these students.
If you're talking about mass failure, what's the quality of teaching that the students are getting?
Well, again, I think, and this is where I think we also need to look at, it differs from state to state. We cannot use the yardstick of Ogun State for Lagos State or for Kano State. So, and again, even in Lagos, it's neither here nor there. You will get top quality education in certain places, and in certain places, it might not be at par. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. And this is where parents come. And I think a lot of parents have also relegated their duties to that of the teachers. No be teacher born picking.
Are you born them?
I mean, they are your children. So you must also ensure that, you know, you whatever the teachers are doing, you corroborate. You meet halfway. So that even if the teachers are not at their best, you can always find other means to ensure that your children get enough you know, teaching and learning. And, you know, I think that's the mistake a lot of people make. You are just assume that the teachers have the full responsibility to take everything. If your child, there are children who are slow learners. They might not meet up at the pace that the classroom is going. It's your duty as a parent to identify that and then look at other ways by which you can ensure that your child catches up. If the class teacher doesn't have the time to help your child through, then you have to now, you know, do the rest. But oftentimes, she should be, I'm paying you. Teach yourself, get life.
I mean, and even for some parents, if you know Sabi, what do you want to drop it?
Yes,
you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, so that is where you can seek help. Because again, so some parents...
Get a teacher, maybe private teacher,
some parents don't know. See, there's... I always
because I hear some parents, when they speak,
there's
in my head, I'm like...
There's no pretense when it comes to your child's well-being. If you don't know,
outsource it.
Outsource it. There are people who know.
Yeah.
You don't know, so don't teach me nonsense. Don't teach nonsense. Outsource it. There are people who can help you. All you just need to do is to seek for help. A lot of people are shy. To come out and seek for help. I beg, don't mortgage your child's future because you cannot speak out and seek for help. You don't know. You don't have to know now. But there are people who know.
Like you ask me now, 2 + 2, I don't know.
It's not like you won't know 2 + 2. Joy, let's take your story.
Okay, Lagos State government denies unlawful detention of minor in viral Kirikiri video. The Lagos State government has denied allegations circulating in a viral social media video that it unlawfully arrested and detained a 14-year-old boy identified as Michael Adekunle without trial at the Kirikiri Custodial Center. In a statement issued by the Office of the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, the government described the claims in the video as deliberate misinformation aimed at misleading the public and generating sympathy for the defendant. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, said the individual at the center of the controversy is actually Michael Adebiyi, who, according to official records, was 18 years old at the time of his arrest in 2022. According to the statement, Adebiyi, alongside one Adedeji Kabiru and Adekunle Waris was arrested by the police over allegations of armed robbery. The government explained that the Directorate of Public Prosecutions received the duplicate case file on January 6, 2023 for legal advice and subsequently issued its recommendation on January 25, 2023. The legal advice, according to the statement, established a prima facie case against Adebiyi and Kabiru for alleged conspiracy to commit robbery and armed robbery, contrary to sections 299 and 297 subsection 2A of the Criminal Law of Lagos State. However, the state said it directed the discharge and release of the third suspect, Adekunle Waris, after investigators found no evidence linking him to the alleged offenses. It's a long read. However, the case has been adjourned until July 1, 2026 for hearing of the no case of submission. If you want to get more clarity on this, you can, read up. But the state government has denied unlawful detention of minor in viral Kirikiri video, stating that the name is not even the name and he wasn't 14 years as at when he was arrested.
Well, like Joe and I said, we're about to start the program. We were not privy to come across that video. And I think since the Office of the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice has issued a rebuttal, we will just go with this, especially since the case has been scheduled for hearing on July 1, 2026. So we will leave it at that because it is a case pending before the court.
Yeah, I didn't see the video as well, so I really do not have any comments on it.
Okay. Let's go on the X platform this morning and take a look at one of the many trending stories there. So this morning, of course, two gentlemen are trending for, their handshake and brief greetings at the Abuja airport, talking about Peter Obi and Reno Omokri. Reno had, ran into Peter Obi at the airport, and he actually approached him, Mr. Obi, and then he greeted him. So, I don't know. A lot of people are saying, the Reno was matured by approaching Peter Obi to offer a handshake and greet him. And, I don't know. Reno will always want to behave like a big man and make situation out of issues. But I think, it just shows that for a lot of people who think that they can lay down their lives for politicians, this is just it.
They see where they see. And on the other side, Abimbola, for me, I might be wrong. Reno was trying to play the big man, putting his hand on his shoulder, like you're my boy. And in 2027, we'll deal with you again.
Oh my God. I know, right? It was just a very funny video, honestly. But again, it just shows that, there's really nothing to fight about. There's really nothing to kill yourself about. Yes, no permanent enemies. Life is life. Wherever you are, do good, live well. And, there's really no point bearing grudges against somebody. Like I said, I came across something really mind-blowing on Saturday, and, I had to share it on my status where I heard a video, and then what caught my attention there would be learn how to forgive people. Not because they deserve your forgiveness, but you deserve your own peace. Sometimes, when you do not forgive, there's a way it affects you. Yeah. So just leave them to their own, so that you can sleep. And then, you can be good. So it's very important. If you think somebody has wronged you and you want to keep carrying that grudge for life, now you do yourself harm. Just leave the person, waka pass. You don't have to greet the person. But just forgive and just have a good stand in a right place with the person and allow for those things to just pass.
Before you call for the break, Abimbola, I want to ask you a question. I know you are not the spokesperson for Peter Obi. Has he finally settled with NDC now?
I think so.
Okay. And they have zoned their ticket to the south. So who will vice him?
You don't even know if he will get the ticket.
If he will get the ticket.
The Seriake Dixon, who is the owner of the party?
Is he not going back to the Senate?
Okay. Ajibola, wait.
I hope Obi will not be naked at the end of the day.
Just wait. Let them do their primaries, or let them say what they want to do. Because for now, I don't know. The pendulum is still swinging. Anyways, that's it. You can go on the X platform this morning and take a further read on why Reno Omokri and Peter Obi are trending on that platform. We'll take a quick break. When we return, it will be time to remember one man that a lot of, especially Southwest politicians, you know, mold their, should I say lifestyles, or molds their political landscape after. And when you hear them say, they will say we are the progressives. But are they truly living the lifestyle of the progressives? Are they truly towing the path of this man? Are they truly reenacting all of those dreams, aspirations, and good things they had in mind for the Southwest and for Nigeria as a whole? Today, we'll be remembering the late sage, late Obafemi Awolowo.